Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a bomb that can be planted and defused just like in Counter-Strike. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the blueprints. So what I have here first is the bomb. I have a custom made bomb which I made real quick, so actually I didn't make it, my brother made it. And it's pretty big now, but I'm going to scale this and it has some problems and no materials, but just for this tutorial. Alright, so I created that real fast. So what I have here is that I'm going to have an event begin play. After 15 seconds I want my bomb to explode, right? Okay, so what it is going to do is going to check if our bomb is diffused or not. If it's going to be false, we are going to spawn an emitter at the location, and the location would be the actor location. That is going to be explosion. Then I'm going to spawn sound 2D, which is going to be the explosion, and then I'm going to destroy the actor. So it's a pretty simple blueprint. The logic is really simple right here. Right. So now let's go and see how we can actually plant this bomb and how we can defuse it. So here what I'm going to have is an input action that is going to be called use. Now let's go a bit into edit, project settings, and let's go into input. So right here, as you can see, input, go to action mappings, click on this plus sign, give it a name and give it a button, and then go into your blueprint and you can access it here. So when you're going to press that specific button, you're going to do either the press, either the release. So what I'm going to do here is going to be when I'm going to defuse it, but as well I'm going to get the left mouse button, which I don't think I have an event. So let's go to project settings once again, and here what you need to do, so it seems that I have one called fire, call it whatever you want and give it left mouse button, or again whatever you have. So I'm going to get fire. Okay, and what I want to do here is let's create real fast a custom event, and I need to call this plant. Okay, you'll see why I want to do this for later. So when we are going to press it, we are going to call the function called plant. So the custom events are actually functions. They're taken as functions, but custom events accepts delay, I think, and as well as timelines. So what we are going to do here is going to, after 5 seconds, so after 5 seconds, we are going to do a check. So get a controller, so get player controller, and we're going to check if is input key down, and we are going to check for left mouse button. So we are going to press this right here. So let's print a string and let's name this start planting. Alright, then after 5 seconds we are going to check if we are still holding our mouse, and if that is true, we are going to do a line trace. I think I have one right here, so it's a function, and so it is like this. I have a line trace by channel, then I have my camera to get a world location, plug it into the start, get a forward vector, multiply that with a float, then get your plus, so add these two values and plug that into the end. Then that's pretty much all actually, and we are going to just out of the return value plug it into a branch. So we are going to see if we actually hit something or not, and if we did, we are going to break the hit result. We are going to get the impact point, actually yeah, I think the impact point should be good. So we are going to get the impact point right here, as I said, and I'm going to spawn actor from class, if I can get it like this. No, so spawn actor from class, plug this in here, and let's split the start pin from the spawn transfer. So I'm going to plug the impact normal in here, actually no, the impact point. Okay, in the class I'm going to have my C4, alright, and then into the rotation I'm going to get a forward vector, and that should do for it. So let's see, get forward vector of the camera, but as well this might not work, so we'll see. And then in the scale, I'm going to do let's say 0.20. Alright, so let's see if this is working or not. So I'm going to hold my ball. Actually, I'm going to make this 1 second. If it's false, here I'm going to print a string not held, and then from here print string planted. Alright, that's it. Okay, so as you can see, it's not really working, and as well it's not exploding because here we have 15 seconds. Alright, so let's see how we can fix that. So I'm going to unplug that from here, and I'm going to plant this once again. So it seems that it's working, but again the rotation is not going to be correct. So I'm just going to split the struct pin, and I'm going to go into my viewport. So let's see. What we need to do is that we only need to get the Z. So I'm going to get this from here. I'm going to split the struct pin, and I'm going to plug this into the EO. Right, let's see. So this should work now. As you can see, it's working. But I think these are not centered. As you can see, these should be right there. So I'm just going to move them a little bit. Alright. And as well, I'm going to scale them down even more. So probably 0.05 should be all good. So I think this is pretty much all for the planted. And let's check what happens if we are not going to hold the button. So as you can see, we are going to get that print. And it's working pretty good. As well, it seems that it's a little bit in the ground. So let's get that upwards. And let's see. Okay, I think it's pretty good. And now what we need to do is to do the diffuse. So here we are going to do a line trace. So again, I'm going to get my line trace function, and you can just copy that from here when you had that. Then I'm going to do another branch, and then from the out hit, I'm going to break the hit result, and if we hit something, I'm going to get a hit actor. And let's see if we can actually cast to the C4. If we are going to be able to cast with this, we are going to do something, and if the cast is going to fail, that means we did not hit the C4. We are going to print this is not the C4. Okay, and let's see if this is working. Alright, so as you can see, this is not the C4. And if you are going to put here the C4, and we are going to do this, as you can see, we are not going to get that error. Alright, so if this is the C4, we are going to have here a delay, which by default is going to be 10 seconds, just like in Counter-Strike. Then again, we are going to do a branch, and we are going to copy this. So we are going to check again if our E button this time, because we have here binded it to E. So let me search for it. If I can find it, it should be somewhere down here. Okay, so as you can see here, E. If it is still true, we are going to delete actor, I can spell, alright, and we are going to delete the hit actor. And let's add some reroute nodes, okay, and they should be good. So let's see. For now, I'm going to put this to 2 seconds. I'm going to plant one real fast, and I'm going to diffuse. Okay, so as you can see, it did diffuse. So I'm going to put this back to 10. And now let's create a diffuser. So I'm going to get this here, and I'm going to put a branch. And let's create a variable called hasDiffuser. Alright. Okay, this goes in here, and if it's false, we are going to do this. Alright, so one thing that I remember that we don't need to actually destroy the actor. So let's set the isDiffused to be true. So instead of destroying it, we are just going to get from the asC4 set isDiffused. So this is going to be true, and that means it won't explode. So let's create a diffuser real fast. So actor diffuser. Here I'm going to add 2 cubes, and I'm going to scale this to be 0.2. right? And I'm going to just put 3 of them. Okay, so I can see where it is. I'm going to give this some material as well. Let's see. Okay. No, it's not good. Okay, let's see this. No. Okay, I'm just going to scale it down until this, so it won't have this bug. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is to get from... We are going to get a box collision. And we're going to make this as big as the diffuser. Alright. And I'm going to put this upwards. Then I am going to go into the overlap all dynamic and see if I can actually overlap with my character. So we should all be good, I think. So let's just go to on component begin overlap. And from the other actor, I'm going to cast to character. Alright. And from the as character, I'm going to set test diffuser to be true. And then destroy the actor. And the target should be solved. So let's see. I'm going to place one of these into my scene. Okay, so it's pretty small. Okay. It seems that it worked. So let's print a string as well with the state of our has diffuser. Okay, plug this in here and this in here. As well, you can delete these print strings afterwards. Okay, so it is true. So if this is going to be true, what we want to do is that we want to do this thing again, but this time instead of having 10 seconds, we are going to have 5 seconds. Alright, so here we have a problem. Okay, so I can see where the problem is. I will need to make a reroute node here, here, once again here to be looking good, and then out of here drag this to the target. And this should compile now. Yeah, everything good. Let's plant. Okay, so let me do that once again. And now I'm going to get a diffuser and let's wait 5 seconds. So I think 2 more seconds. Okay, so I think it was diffused, but because I don't have a print string, I'm just going to do this one right here. So diffused, and I'm going to put this to 1 second. Alright, so let's see, planting once again, getting the diffuser, and let's see. Okay, so as you can see in the top left corner, I have there the print string, so I'm going to delete this now. So this is pretty much all for the mechanic itself. Let's now create a HUD. So I'm going to create here, I'm going to go to user interface, then widget blueprint, and I'm going to call this HUD. Alright, and here I'm going to have a progress bar. So I'll just get one of these. Okay, I'm going to get it to be down here. And now I'm just going to scale it. Okay. Okay, now this should be looking good. So what I want to do is that I want to go to the %. Okay, here I'm going to get the player character. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to use this way, so just going to get rid of the binding for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my character once again, and I'm going to open the HUD once again, and I'm going to go into the graph, and I'm going to create 2 custom events. So custom event, start diffuse, okay, and custom event, let's see, how do we call this? Stop diffuse. Okay, so when we are going to stop the diffuse, we are going to get our progress bar and set progress to be 0. Okay, not this one. Set progress, set % to be 0. Okay, and above here to the start diffuse, we are going to have a timeline, so add timeline. If we can add one. Okay, so it seems that we can't actually add a timeline. Okay, then we are going to do something else. So first let's go into our character and go a bit into the event begin play. So event begin play. And let's create a widget. this is going to be the HUD, I think this one, and out of the return value I'm going to promote this to a variable and I'm going to call this HUD, and I'm not going to add it to the viewport, not yet. Then what I want to do is to go to use. Actually, we are going to add this to the viewport, so just add to viewport, and we're going to set this to be invisible, so hidden, and we're going to do here a bind, and we are going to get player character. We are going to cast our character, okay, and we are going to need to have variable, so we are going to call this is diffusing. Alright, and here when it's pressed, no, after the line trace, I think here we should have it. Okay, so we are going to set our is diffusing to be true. Okay, when we are going to release it, we are going to set it to be false. Okay, and as well here, yeah, we should set this to be false here and here again. Good, this should work now. So I'm going to put this back to 5, and here I'm going to do a branch, and I'm going to get is diffusing, plug this into the condition, and let's get to return node. So I'm going to copy this. If is diffusing is going to be visible, if it's going to be false, we are going to set this to be hidden. Okay, so let's see if this is working. It should be. Okay, so as you can see, it's working. All good now. So here I think we need a sequence. So we're just going to get one, and we are going to add a timeline. I'm not going to call it, I'm just going to get into it and add a float track, and I'm going to add from time 0 value 0 to time 5 value 100. Okay, so this is looking good, and out of the new track I need to get my HUD, set %, actually get first the progress bar, and then set %. Okay, plug the update into here, new track in here, and on finished set the % to be 0. Okay, finished. Then if we are going to release it, release the button, we are going to get a reroute node right here. Actually, we are going to get a sequence, not a reroute node. And we are going to stop that timeline. So I'm going to plug this in here. And I'm going to copy all of this and put this down here as well. So another sequence. This goes in here. Like that. Okay, and remember to have this play from start. And here what I want to do, instead of 5 seconds, I'm going to have it 10. And this as well 10 once again. Okay, so let's compile. Everything is working good. And now add a new pin and plug this into the stop. Alright, let's see if this is working. It should be. So as you can see, it's going pretty fast. So let's see why. Okay, so this should be 5 seconds. Okay, I know why. It is taking values from 0 to 1, not from 0 to 100. Okay. So let me change this back to 1. And now this should all be working. So I'm going to plant 1. As you can see, it's charging. I'm going to get the diffuser. It's going to charge even faster. As well, guys, we need to create one new variable in here. So let's call this has been diffused. Okay, and here we need to check if it was diffused or not. And if it's false, we're going to do this. Alright, then we need to go into our character, and from the C4 we need to do branch, So get from here has been diffused. Then let me check this. Okay. Then just do a branch in here, and if has been diffused is false, then everything is going to be alright. As well, what we need to do then here, we'll need to get again our C4 and set has been diffused to be true. So set has been diffused to be true, and as well we need to do that down here. Okay. And that should be alright. Right, so let's see, we are going to defuse this now, and then let's see if we can defuse it or not anymore. So as you can see, you can't. One more thing that we have to do is that we need to check if our bomb has exploded while we were defusing or not. So let's see how we can do that. So first, what we need to do here is after 10 seconds is that we'll need to check if this is still valid or not. And if it's valid, we are going to continue. If it's not going to be valid, we are not going to continue. Okay, as well up here. So it is valid. Okay, now this one. Okay. So it is valid. If it's valid, we are going to do that. And what we need to do is that we'll need to check every time from our updated if it's true or not. So let's go a little bit into our C4 and let's promote this to a variable C4. We can promote it to that, so C4 or actually bomb, that's going to be alright. Okay, and then here, if the bomb is not going to be valid, we are going to stop this, and that's what we are going to do this. So get a sequence, plug this in here. If it's going to be valid, we're going to do this one. Okay, let's go down there again. Okay, paste this in here, update, this goes into stop, this into finish right here, and this should be all good. As well, if it is not going to be valid anymore, we are going to go to is diffusing and set that to false. So get this and this one, I'm going to set it to be false. I forgot to plug the is valid into here, so now let's see if this is working. Okay, so we are going to plant the bomb and we are going to start diffusing, and as you can see, it didn't work. And as well, one thing that you can do is make him not be able to move his head, and as well, right now I think you're able to move, yeah. So let's fix that as well. So let's go into the movement input here and first check if it's diffusing or not. Okay, so if it's false only, and I think his head can be moved, but then you'll need to add a little bit more of code to check if the line trace is still hitting the bomb or not. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the mouse input as well, if I can find that. Seems that I cannot, so here it is. And I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so just gonna copy it, gonna paste it, and it's going to do the same thing. Alright, plug this in here and false in here, and let's check if this is working or not. Okay, so as you can see, he cannot move or do anything. So guys, that's pretty much all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope that you learned something new and that you actually enjoyed this. And if you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. So guys, until next time, goodbye.